Hi, my name is Diana. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Discover Product Management by Diana. In today's video, I will be chatting about one of the key skills of a product manager, and actually one of the parts that I truly love about being a product manager, which is building trust with your engineering team. So one of my favorite parts about being a product manager is the fact that I get to work with different people and together we build amazing products that answer customer needs. I have seen it work really well, and I'm personally passionate about building a collaborative culture, building a culture of innovation. So over the years, I had around 8 different engineering teams, working with engineering teams that were like co-located, but also working with third-party engineering teams, with engineering teams that were in different countries, with like a variety of setups. And throughout all of it, I have been trying to find what are the different frameworks or things to put in place in order to build this collaborative culture. So in today's video, I just wanted to share with you what are the my 3 top tips. How can you create a honest relationship based on trust with your engineering teams? One of the most important things when building trust with your engineering team is to have a high level of clarity. Clarity for me comes as there's one level of clarity which is around what is the roadmap, what is our direction as a product team or as an engineering team for the next year. That one needs to be quite well defined. You want to make sure that all engineers, like your full team, really understands why are we doing this and how does it fit in the big picture of the strategy, the big picture of us as a whole team, roadmap for the next quarter, but overall what are the big themes. Obviously you won't have anything very clear, especially if you're looking over a year, but it's very important to know the themes. So for example, you want to know if as a team you'll be looking at improving the checkout experience as part of improving first time purchase experience. Checkout is going to come sometime in the next 6 months. And the second level of clarity is what I call micro clarity. So that is around what is our backlog. If you're working Scrum or if you're working Kanban, you still need to have a very clearly prioritized backlog. So everyone needs to know what is the current priority and also what is the next priority. And then you also have within this another nuance of you want to make sure that if there is a piece of work that engineers are working on, and if they find a blocker and they need a decision to say, well, actually, we can't build it the way we wanted initially, what should we do now? That for me, it's also a level of clarity, because you as a product manager should provide them, be like, okay, you have a business question or how to tackle this specific feature, then I'll be able to answer those and I'll be able to take the decision, work with stakeholders, whatever you want to do, but take that decision. So as an engineer, you know that you're clear on what you're doing, why you're doing it, and also you have the confidence that your product manager is going to help you with even smaller day-to-day decisions. You trust them that if you go to them, you'll get all the answers you need. I believe that's very important, and I think over communication in this area, it's okay. As part of building clarity, it's also very important to say why. So for example, why the roadmap has this current shape. Why is it important to run a specific experiment that will drive customer value versus building a foundational feature? Your engineering team needs to understand the rationale around it, and of course this is a collaborative process whenever you do roadmap, so I will create a video specific around how to build a product roadmap, but for this video I think it's just really important to just cover the fact that clarity at high level, small level is very important for building trust. The second tip from myself would be make sure engineers feel like you have their back. So what I mean by that is it's very important for engineering team to feel like they can rely on you to represent their needs in the right forums. So it's probably common, but what I've noticed, like a lot of engineering teams will be highlighting tech debt, or they will be highlighting certain issues they're having around, changing priorities, or they'll have opinions or things that are making their day-to-day life more difficult. Generally, changing priorities is quite a common theme that keeps happening, or engineering teams have to deal with. And as a product manager, you do have a lot of power over that. So what's very important, because we're looking at building trust, what's very important is for you to take all those concerns, to listen to them, acknowledge them, and make sure that whatever themes there are, you go and create an action plan on the back of that. So when it comes to switching priorities, like context switching all the time, that is still something within your control. So you want to make sure that you then highlight this to stakeholders, or you create a process in place, or you really attempt to solve this problem, and then make sure that you let engineers know when it comes to your stakeholder forums, what are the topics that you're mentioning. Make sure that the things that are coming out from the retro, or the things you are noticing your engineering team raising concerns about, you are taking this to the right people, driving change, but then make sure that they know that you have had those conversations and what the outcome is. Because when you're new to like an engineering team, or even if it's an established one, they feel quite vulnerable. They feel like they need someone that they can rely on. They need someone that they can trust to share those things with. I think really communicating their concerns in the right forums, and then presenting back to them what actions are coming from that, is really, really important. And then the last tip that I have is around showing progress. So everyone loves to build things that provide value. It's, you want to feel good about the work that you're doing. And as a product manager, you have a lot of room to ensure that everyone in the team feels proud and feels good about the work they're doing, even if the results are negative. So even if you run an experiment that is negative, really, really important to show, why did we do it, what did we learn, and what is the next step. You want to make sure that every piece of work has a clear reason for the value it's going to bring, but also once you have released it, make sure you close that feedback loop and you come back to it and be like, what did we learn from this? Because, of course, like engineering teams build a lot of different things. They'll be building things that they're very excited about from a technical point of view. They'll be building things that, support other teams. They'll be building things that customers want, so like you as a product manager have prioritized. But they need to feel motivated for doing those things. And I found that sharing results from the things they've done, and making sure that every month you share the high level company results, so like whatever you're tracking as a team, if it's overall conversion, is really important to share at least every month. What is the conversion? What does that mean in revenue? What does that mean in profit? What does that mean in the metrics that the whole business is really excited about? What is your team's contribution towards that? So that's the overall one. But you also want, for everything you have released, make sure they get the feedback from the results. So if it's an experiment, how did it perform? If it's something you've built for another part of the business, if you do have feedback from that, from your stakeholders, bring it in. Make sure you forward that email, or you forward that Slack, or like the engineers really see the value of everything they've been adding, because that will then make them more motivated, that will then make them excited about the job, and then of course then that will their trust in you and your decisions will grow, and then you'll be able to really build this collaborative culture. So yeah, those are my 3 tips. So to recap, first one is around clarity, making sure the roadmap, the strategy, but also the day-to-day backlog is really clear. The why is highlighted at every single step. The second one is around having their back, taking their concerns, raising them in the right forums to make sure that they, like your engineering team, knows that you will take action for them. And then the third one is around close that feedback loop, make sure that everything you've built, you're able to share the results, and make sure that your engineering team knows the value they've been adding with the work they've done. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more product manager tips. Thank you. Bye.